this morning. I'm headed back up to my mom's place in Pinellas Park to help her finish installing her washer and dryer. Got some tools set up in the back. So that's the news. I have terrible news and then I have not good news. We'll start with the not good news. I'm probably gonna have to have surgery on my back, or at least that's what the doctor told me. I'm hoping that surgery is a last resort and then I can do some sort of PT to avoid that. I have a compressed nerve in my L4, L5 lumbar spine. That's fun. It's hurting pretty bad this morning because yesterday I was up doing some stuff. And now for the worst news. Our cat Sushi, who has been in many of my videos, he's an outside cat. We always brought him in at sunset. He was attacked one night and didn't come in for the first time in the 2.5 years that we had him. He didn't come in, and we found him the next day. He made it back to the house. You know, he's a strong cat. He made it back to the house. He was covered in puncture wounds. We took him to the vet. That was 3 weeks ago. And then Friday, he was very lethargic. He wasn't wanting to eat. All the wounds had been healing. We'd been taking him to the vet, and my wife took him into the vet. They did a blood culture, or I guess they did a blood draw and a panel, and his hematocrit level, which is the percentage of red blood cells in your blood, was like 7%. And it's supposed to be upwards of 50%. So his body was attacking his red blood cells for some reason. He was in the ER, the vet ER, Veg, up in St. Pete. They did an incredible job. I really appreciated that place. He had a blood transfusion. That's never something I thought I would say, that my cat had a blood transfusion. But he did, and it did not take. And we were in the ER from like 10 until like 1 a.m. I left at one point around 7, and so did Macy, because we thought he was gonna make a recovery after the blood transfusion. We ended up putting him to sleep around 1 a.m. on Saturday morning. He was 2.5 years old. My wife and I took yesterday to Waller in pity and sorrow, and I'm still really depressed about it. I cried basically all day yesterday. So did she. He was a source of joy on the property. He was a great outdoor cat. He will be greatly missed. R.I.P. to Sushi. Sushi Magoosh. Goose Bud. All his names. Mr. Magooshi. It doesn't seem real. He was only like a 3-year-old cat. We don't know what caused the red blood cell destruction in his body. They basically narrowed it down to 3 causes, 2 of them being more likely than the other ones. One would be some sort of infection, but there weren't any other indicators that he had an infection, like his temperature was fine, his breathing, respiratory rate, blood pressure, everything was fine. Or what's called IMHA, immune-mediated hemolytic anemia, which basically means your immune system starts attacking, it hemolyzes your red blood cells and creates anemia in your body. And they tried to mitigate if that was the case, and even with that, the blood transfusion and loading him up on steroids, it didn't do anything for him. It was a really tough decision. His quality of life wasn't going to be the same. Even if we could figure it out, we were going to have to spend thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars on blood transfusions to buy him enough time to try and figure it out. It's like, I feel very depressed about it. There's like just a pit of sadness in my body right now. And you know, he was a great cat and a member of our family. It's appropriate that I feel that way for a little while. But anyway, I'm gonna try and put emotions aside for at least a little while today and go help my mom do some stuff. So that's the main point of this video. I just wanted to let everybody know what had happened to Sushi. Throw an RIP to Sushi in the chat. SOOSH, RIP Sush. And we're gonna go help my mom do some stuff. I need to wire up her dryer. This was like 2 or 3 weeks ago that I helped her start this stuff. But we have to finish wiring up her dryer and running water to her washing machine because she's getting a new one finally. So that's what I'm doing this morning. I'll talk to you when I get there. All right, I've made it here. We're gonna try not to think about Sushi all day or think about him, but try not to get emotional about thinking about him. But anyway, there's my mom's house again. This is our project where we were installing this water softener last time, which is looking good and doing well for them. But it turned into more of a laundry room renovation, and they sold their washer and dryer, and they're gonna get a stackable. So we got to move the water. She's got a recessed box that we're gonna put over here. We already moved the drain pipe. We're going to run the water over here. We're going to move this outlet maybe, potentially, and then also for the dryer wire. We originally ran it down through here, but she thinks she's going to run it. She's going to get up in the attic and run it over and down in behind the wall instead of in the piping. My back's messed up, so I'm not going to be able to do a ton of it. But, you know, so we got to figure out if she's going to be able to get up in the attic or what we're going to do here. But we'll get it figured out. All right, we're going to get started. I don't know if you can see any of that because I just had my phone. I forgot to bring my tripod, so I have this other GoPro set up on a little bitty thing that I had in my camera bag. But we installed the water box. It's a little janky, but it's gonna work. Everything's hooked up. This is the water. This is the drain for the washing machine. It's gonna go right here. We ended up not going to this wall because there's like a double stud on each side here, so she'll just connect it here, put the drain in here. We'll put something here whenever we do the rest of this drywall, mud it back. Here is a temporary box for the dryer. We ended up running it through the attic. Hey! We have to get something to surface mount it because the box we got was the wrong size. So this will work until they get the different box to put in there. They'll at least be able to dry their clothes for a little while. So yeah, it's still a work in progress. I might see if Draco can come by and help out up here at some point. Yeah, that's all probably we're gonna do today. She's gonna clean up a little bit. I'm gonna go lay down because my back feels like it's on fire. And then I'll go home. And not a great video, not a fun weekend, but life goes on and everybody has hard times and there's nothing wrong with being sad. See you next time.